Hi everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, and I'm joined with Connor
Hey guys.
and Alan.
Melty Man's name is Joey.
Whoa, breaking tradition there.
What's up, MFers?
All right, I guess we'll count that as a correction of
Yes.
every episode of this so far, where we have not
I
known
made it
his
a
name.
point of finding out that motherfucker's name. His name is Joey.
Well, that's good. That's good.
There.
Excellent. Well, that should probably tell you. We're going to talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3, Episode 18. It's called The Singularity. Full spoilers for the episode, as always, on this show. So, Alan,
Yes.
you indicated before we recorded that you were happy with this episode. So how about you start us off and tell us why you're so happy?
Well, I mean, I'm happy for a couple of reasons. The thing that got me, I guess, excited, maybe geek out, was whenever Coulson and May are in that house and they find out that there's bombs placed everywhere.
Oh, I know where you're going with
Yeah.
this now.
I
And
thought it was going to be this before it started.
And they have to dive into that hole, and then everything explodes, and you're thinking, "Oh fuck, what the hell? How are they going to survive this?" And then it cuts back, and Coulson has the shield, the shield, I guess.
Yeah,
is what
the
they
shield
call it.
shield.
The shield, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's taken straight out of the comics because Captain America had one of those, and it was
Really?
the Captain
Oh,
America
okay.
shield.
I like the idea that Coulson probably wanted this because he's a fan of Captain America.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it shows him later on holding the cards from Avengers,
Oh yeah. Good point.
ones with all the blood on them.
So that's pretty cool. No, that was cool. I actually really liked this episode as well. I thought it was another strong episode in a row because I think right from the start when they're sort of dealing with the destruction of the base, there's this like new tone that's present. It's like, okay, we're in the final act of the season and shit's getting real, and
Yeah.
everyone's kind of in a bad place. And I think to jump ahead, the scene that really cemented that is the scene where they casually just like defeat Hydra.
Yeah.
Almost to the point where it's kind of ridiculous and almost anticlimactic, but that's kind of the point because Coulson says there should be a good day, but
Yeah.
we're
It doesn't
losing
even
this
matter
fight.
anymore.
Yeah, like this is not the fight we need to win right now. So,
Although I would
like
really
that.
like to see how all that was set up and went down, like see like a story from some of those characters or something of them doing that. That would be cool for me as like a side thing, but I mean I don't need it.
They could do a TV movie or something, I guess, I suppose, if they wanted to.
That would be cool. I would like that.
Maybe one of the episodes of like the most wanted thing would be that.
Yeah.
Like, start with that maybe.
Yeah, for all we know, actually, that Most Wanted show might actually be set alongside this, like the last part of the season.
Like after they leave,
Yeah.
follow them for the second half and then go on from there.
That'd be cool. Maybe they took down one of the cells of Hydra.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Could have a lot of Talbot in that, calling
Yeah.
shots and things. That'd be cool. So no, that's really cool, and I liked all that stuff. I like the overall sort of tone that we've got now. There's this feeling that things are really amped up. So let's start with the happiest part of the episode, and that is one Fitz and one Simmons. And
Finally.
I know.
honestly, I don't think I've laughed at this show quite as much as I did when Fitz and Simmons. It's when they're getting ready to leave, and they've got this metaphor going where he's like, "Well, we're professional, Doctor Fitz and Doctor Simmons," and they go on for about 10 minutes, and he's talking about, "Well, we should be aware of all our variables," and then she just flat out says, "You mean when we have sex?" And Fitz's just reaction
He
to
just
that.
walks off.
he was expecting her to keep going along with it, and she was like, "Nope, not to do that."
His reaction to that cracked me up so much. Oh god. So no, I thought it was really cool, and I thought them having their whole like shutting off the comms, and I loved that Mac knew what they were doing at the end when he's like, you know how many times Bobby and Hunter pulled that shit on me. Yeah. So no.
I also like the thing where they were getting ready to go into like the party or whatever it is to go see the guy, and Mac says that they can't wear their lab coats in there, and it's almost like a stereotype thing, and then they kind of like turn it around,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
I
I
like
really
that
like
too.
that. I thought that was pretty cool.
That whole scene was really fun actually because they really played it up, and then Fitz kind of. I love how Fitz when he's like, and you can come on and punch them because you're a big strong man, and I love how he like slaps his knees. He does it.
Yeah.
It's like he's making his point, and then Mac's like, okay, I'll never mention lab coats again, right? Yeah, that was good. So I thought that was all cool, and them getting into the creepy basement, and then like the guy's like strapped to the chair with just like one part of his like face showing around his eye. I was like, okay, this is creepy. I did not expect John Hannah to pop out of the chair. that was news to me. Which is actually kind of surreal. In an American show, watching two Scottish characters have a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't have like what I think of as a Scottish accent.
I mean,
though.
what,
It's not
what do you
as
think?
thick.
That scene was two Scottish people and a Yorkshire one.
Yeah.
Like in this
Yeah.
American shit, it's like, what is going on here?
I like they can do that now though. I like that because there was for a long time this like attitude on American TV where everyone has to be American, and honestly for a long time everyone had to be white as well. It was like
Yeah.
everyone has to be white Americans.
And when they were British, it was the over the top posh accent.
It was like here, jolly good show. You know,
Yeah.
it was that.
And then also 2 episodes ago, we had characters speaking Spanish to each other.
Exactly. Yeah,
And then
exactly.
the
Same
other
thing.
ones
Yeah.
didn't know what was going on.
But which again, I love that this show does that. That it's that diverse, and they
Because
can
it just feels like it's in the world, because
Yeah.
there are different people everywhere.
and they
Yeah.
can just let John Hannah be Scottish, unlike The Mummy, where he tried to do an English accent, and the end of every sentence sounded Scottish. Like he started every sentence with an English accent, and every single one ended in Scottish. But no, I thought it was cool. It was nice to see a recognisable face as well, just from an acting point of view. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I know that guy. That's kind of cool.
You guys really need to watch more Martin Dacascos movies. They're amazing.
Okay.
The guy who moves all the Magneto stuff.
Okay, right, okay.
Sorry for the plane.
That's not your fault, Alan. I'm not blaming. I'm not blaming you
Divert the
personally for the
flight.
plane.
Sorry for where I live.
Yeah, I used to get. I don't know what you call the things that the guys in the runway use to direct the planes, but you should get some of those and go and
Batons?
glow in the dark batons. Sure.
I don't know.
Mobile cones.
Just phone up the ATC and tell them, look, I'm recording. Divert this plane around there. Just fuck off.
So I thought that was cool, and even the whole idea that there was this like society of like tech fetish people who wanted, modifications, and made me think a lot of Deus Ex.
Yeah, it does feel very much an analogy to today's society, which
Yeah.
is very clever.
Very very cyberpunk.
Yeah.
There's a Jonathan Hickman graphic. Yeah, it's a graphic novel. That came out from Image called Transhuman. It's about that. I thought at first like they were trying to reference that, but it's not a Marvel thing. So it's just kind of weird because Jonathan Hickman wrote so much for Marvel, and then he
Yeah.
did that book, and it just made me think of that. It's
Yeah.
like kind of like a loose connection.
I think it's just, honestly, I think it's just like a really sort of maybe common is not the right word, but just like it's one of these sort of classic sci-fi ideas. The idea
Yeah.
of like man and machine melding and all that. So, no, I thought it was really cool. Another thing I like, jumping over to Coulson and May. I really like the scene in the car when she turns around and says, and she's like, "What if things go south? Like, what do I do with Daisy?" And it's like, "Well, don't shoot her." And she kind of calls him out on his bullshit. It's like, "Well,
Lincoln's expendable.
we've got a fucking explosive
Yeah.
that's strapped to Lincoln's chest," which personally, as a viewer, I'm fine with.
Yeah, it was when it was, oh, you'd like this, wouldn't you? You'd like to get rid of me and have your little family back. I was like, yes, we fucking would. Fuck off.
Oh god, it wasn't even that bad in this episode, but yeah,
No, but it's just it doesn't matter.
yeah, it doesn't matter.
He actually looked really cool with that vest on.
It did. I almost
Yeah.
like an excuse to have a costume,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Except there's no real reason why he would have explosives on forever.
it's because
Maybe he's just like, man, I hate wearing explosives, but this design, I can get with this.
yeah,
Yeah.
Also, I really liked all the effects of him, like with whenever he was like powering up with the electricity and everything, and he had Alicia's like around like next to her, and he's about to like kill her or whatever.
yeah, because even
He
his
does all the
eyes were
stuff.
sort of
Mm.
glowing.
Yeah.
It was it did look quite cool. It looked very intimidating. So that was quite cool. But I just love May calling Coulson out in it. And,
Yeah, it was really good.
Because it felt like character history. Because even the scene later on in the cockpit when they start talking about Daisy and how Coulson like cares about her, and May like flat out just says she's not your daughter, because even though that's always been kind of there, we've not really directly had him try to be a father figure since season 1. I don't think.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, he always calls her Daisy or Sky.
Yeah.
So I mean, it always felt like he has a bit of emotion attached to her.
Yeah, it's always been there, but what I mean is like I don't think that since season 1 it's really been on the surface.
I think it's because in season 2 they introduced her actual father and did it with there, and so it
Yeah.
didn't need to be done with Coulson as well. They had a bit like a parallel sort of nature nurture thing.
I think that's there, but I think it's also just a case of by season 2 she was a proper agent, so I didn't really feel like she was being nurtured as much.
Yeah.
Whereas here it sort of came back because she's in trouble and he cares about her, and she flat out says she's not your daughter, and Ellie's like, well, I know that, but she's the closest thing I've got to a daughter, so
Right.
deal with it, basically. So that was pretty cool. But I suppose we need to talk about Hive and Sky and their entire plot here. I thought the first scene with Hive and Sky up in the mountains, wherever they are, looking out, and they're having a philosophical chit chat about multitude of things. See when she leans her head on him and he puts her arm around her. Did anyone else feel really creeped out?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Really creepy. And
It's really perverse.
really perverse,
It
and
is.
this is again coming back to this idea of this tone of everything ramping up. Like all through this episode, I just felt the tone. Like I really felt like this doesn't feel like just like a typical TV episode anymore. It feels like things matter,
Yeah.
and that's really cool. That's good writing and it's good direction and all that stuff. Because it's all building up.
I hope they can maintain that tone for the last few now, and it doesn't drop, because it would feel a
Yeah, I
bit
hope.
weak if it dropped in the next one.
Yeah.
It could. I hope it doesn't. That's it. I can see it taking kind of a break from them a little bit, just because they won't be actively on the hunt for them, maybe, because they will be, but they won't be as close. They won't find them.
Yeah, not necessarily with them, just the tone of the overall episode.
Yeah.
I feel like if next week's doesn't maintain that sense that shit's going down still as they're ramping up towards the end, then it'll feel like a bit of a step back.
Now, of course, they go to the Australian potential inhuman who becomes an inhuman. Okay, side tangent. I actually kind of loved that he spent the whole episode trying to think of a name.
It was so fun.
Kind of Inferno? Is that too much? Hellfire? Scorch? Like every possible flame name.
Firestarter. That's a bit 90s.
Inferno is one of the Inhumans who has. It's not exactly like him, but he does have fire powers. So.
They could just be making that him, maybe.
I feel like he's Gambit though, like his powers and the fact that he's got this accent. I don't know. I just got like a Gambit sort of
That's
vibe.
true. I hadn't thought about it, but now that you mention it, it does feel like Gambit.
Yeah.
But not as annoying.
Yes, thankfully.
Yeah, that's worth mentioning. And they've also got a hold of the only thing that can kill Hive. That's what they were finding underneath his trailer. So that's that. But the more interesting stuff, though, is when they show up in Russia, I think they're in, with Fitz and Simmons.
Yes.
Because the two sides to this is Hive using Will's memories to talk to Simmons, which
That's
is
so fucked up. It's so fucked up.
It's fucked up.
It's the way I think that's what gets me about this portrayal of Hive by the actor, where he can swap between playing like this twisted version of Ward with Daisy, and then this twisted version of Will with Simmons, and it's just like, but it all feels like one person still,
Yeah.
and that's what's so really good about it.
Yeah, it's impressive. It's impressive, and that side of the scene worked really well for me. But the other side of the scene I thought was even more interesting, and that's Daisy with Fitz, who straight up force chokes him against the wall. And what I thought was really interesting is it really told you how this whole mind control, or the hive mind, if you will, works. And that's like, she still doesn't want to hurt them. Like, she actually makes a point of saying, look, I see in the future someone from S.H.I.E.L.D.'s going to die. Like, she gives them that warning, but the entire time she's got him by the throat, up against the wall, and he's like, if you try and stop us once more time, I will have to kill you. You know?
Yeah.
and it had
She
weight
has him
to
there
it.
for quite a while too. I was scared. I was like, wait a second, hold on, you're not killing Fitz, are you? I mean, what's
Yeah,
going on
it
here?
got to the point where I seriously questioned for a second like that they might actually
Mm.
do it.
Well, you
Yeah.
know, there is someone named Whedon in charge of this show, and typically,
We don't
ju-
get happy endings.
yeah, typically just when someone's about to be happy, that's usually when one of them gets killed. So, I'm still kind of fully expecting either Fitz or Simmons to get offed.
See,
at
the only
season
thing that's
final.
stopping me thinking that is the last 2 seasons have ended with shit for them.
Hmm.
So it's like maybe they'll give them a break this year.
Yeah, maybe they'll get a happy season end.
But maybe that's it. Like I'm expecting them to be safer because they've been the ones in shit for the last 2. That now that's it. One of them's gone.
Mm.
Oh, it'll be heartbreaking if she used to do it.
I did really like how Hive kind of enhances their powers, like has better control over it than they do.
Yeah, because Australian dude's like struggling and he's like setting things in fire and making things explode, and as
Yeah,
soon as he gets taken over, it's just instant control.
I think that's why like Daisy has the fidelity to do the force choke essentially as well. Like I don't think she could have done that on her own before.
Yeah, it's because it's more acute
Yeah.
like use of her powers. Yeah.
Like even last week we mentioned when she was destroying the base, like this was a big step up from what we've seen her use her powers before, and now I'm wondering if that is just because of the Hive stuff.
Luckily though, when she does come back over at the good side, she will probably still remember how to do all these, so that'll be handy, and she can force choke people to her heart's content.
That's what made Mario so happy.
Yeah.
Anytime you can reference Star Wars, it'll make Mario happy. Let's be honest.
Yes.
Oh dear. So Chris and Simmons get it on. I'm just going to leave that there.
Damn time.
Get it on, and that's it. That's it. To go back to the conversation though, when they cut the communications off, so Matt can't hear them, and Fitz is like comparing them to
Singularity.
Singularity. But what's the phrase that Simmons uses? Are you? Because she says
Event Horizon.
Crossing the
event
yeah.
horizon. Right, and I'm like, that's a good point. That's quite a daunting challenge.
It's a lot to live up to. I also really like the thing with Mac after where he asks Simmons like, "How long's it been going on?" She's like, "Oh, it's kind of new." He's like, "Nah, it's not."
Yeah, I like that line. That was a really good line.
Yeah, that's good.
And I like that Mac's really pissed about losing Daisy, and he's really noticeably like down about it throughout the episode.
Yeah.
And there's the line before they go on the mission, before they leave the hotel room or whatever, where he's like, "I'm not losing another team member today." So
Yeah,
that scene at the end when he's like, "No, it's not." It's like, like you get the feeling that these people are because if you go back to the start of season 2 when Mac was first there, and he was like helping out Fitz when Fitz was still like struggling after the whole brain damage thing or whatever, from being in the ocean, like.
Yeah.
They were really good friends, and he's good friends with Sky because they've had like a bromance this season, and like you get this history. Everyone feels connected and like they know each other, except Lincoln, but everyone else, has this.
I
history.
really like the bit as well when they were talking about whether they should do the thing with the eye, and he was like, "Well, if it gets tremors back, do it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like he really doesn't care at this point.
Also, I love that. Also, the shot of her stabbing him in the eye with a syringe.
Oh.
That was.
I had to look away. I couldn't watch.
Do you know what? See when you actually seen it, I'm like, holy shit! They showed it.
What's worse is they do this normally, and they'll show it for like half a second, and then it'll cut away. So I look back thinking I was safe, and then he sits I was there. I'm like, no, fucking no. Oh, it's awful. Oh, it makes me sick just thinking about it.
Also, I love that Mac's next name for Sky all season's been Tremors. I think it's really cool. And it all goes back to one of the very early episodes, not of Almost Cancelled, in fact. It goes back to one of the early episodes of 1.21 Gigawatts, when Alan iconically said it's going to be like Tremors, and somehow we've ended up where that's actually a thing and something we talk about.
First, I predicted her being Daisy. Then
You did.
I predicted Tremors.
In a roundabout way, you predicted Tremors, yes. Yes.
I can see the future.
You can see the future. Alright, well, I think
Oh,
that's
by the way,
us.
one of you is going to die. Just wanted you to know that.
Well, we're both gonna die.
Yeah, at some point.
See? Told you I could predict the future.
Yeah, but the implication is that only one of us is going to die, which
Yeah,
means...
one of us isn't.
One of us is immortal. Okay, I hope I'm the immortal one. I mean, let's be honest. If there's any justice in this world, the ginger's the one that's going to leave.
I don't know. Having to walk the world forever and getting ginger abuse seems like a pretty cruel fate.
That's true.
True. Anyway, so the one last thing is we get the post credit scene, as it were, with Hive and his inhuman cronies, and he's bought a town, and
Why
he
not?
implies that he's going to shift humanity. He's going to recreate this thing that created him, and I think that means he's going to try and make everyone inhuman.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
That's what it sounded like to me. Interesting. So they've got a plan, and the team's got a plan, and everyone's stakes are high. Season's shipping up to really good. So that's us done talking about this week's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Let us know what you thought in the comments below. What did you think of what's going on? Where do you think it's going? And are you enjoying it as much as we are? Let us know. We like to hear. And like and subscribe and all that jazz. Helps us out a lot. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.